Well, hello, this is again Larissa on my quest to figure out the best way uh, to felt nice silk fabrics without hair penetrating it too much and kind of figure out a formula how it works. And my last today I'm going to share my recent experiments. In my previous video, I mentioned that I would be using sleeves of a silk dress. So these were two identical silks sleeves. They shrunk differently. And in this case, I used my, let me just focus on this one first, the reveal. And I don't know if I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you could see the texture. And frankly speaking, this is the kind of texture I'm after, and I'm overall kind of pleased with the results. I used merino wool, fine merino wool, maybe not extra fine, but good merino wool, dark color. So you could still see in some areas it did come through the fabric. You could see probably better this way. And because the colors are kind of close, it's not sticking out as much. And in some places, like here, for example, the pattern is slightly different. It's not as dense as, for example, in this area. And in this area, the wool also penetrated more. So it is striking a fine balance between how hard I maybe roll and fool the piece. And so that was it. That was the first piece. I would be happy if moving forward I was able to consistently produce this kind of results, maybe with slightly less fibers, or I would have to match them better. So, and the back, I was using this beautiful viscose fiber, which is, the color is called currant, like a berry, black currant berry. So this is the color, and this is how it turned out. Nice little pleasant texture which could be worn outside. And the idea is, that's my whole quest, to figure out how I could make reversible items of clothing. Something, like maybe jackets or tunics or vests, and have beautiful texture on both sides. So that was experiment number one, almost like kind of a success of some sort, with minor variations there, but needs work. Still, I'm not quite where I would like to be. And now, this was the second piece. I used, let's say, in this one, the wool, the dark blue wool that I used is probably maybe 19 microns. And in this one, it was even finer, maybe even 16, really super fine. And I thought I was using viscose, but it turned out it was silk, something, silky fabric, silky fiber. And it is very beautiful on this side, and it's very interesting on that side. Look what happened. It just started marbling in a very interesting fashion, and something that I probably overfelt it. And if you're watching this video by chance and you know what I might have done to reach that result, but watch, let me zoom in a little bit. Watch this. So this very tightly kind of packed, maybe because the wool was thinner, and maybe because I was too playing with it while I was fooling. It was like rolling it into balls, etc., etc. But look what happened. It created me this rosettes, which of course could be, I couldn't have planned that, but very strong marbling effect, and way more wool than I would have preferred. So it's not what I am after, but kind of interesting piece. Maybe I'll use it somewhere as a piece of, I don't know. At this point, it's not what I was after. So then I thought, well, I'll be gentler. So this too. And then I thought, okay, I have this little dress still. I'll be fooling it a lot gentler. I laid out, let me give you the whole form. That was already the front of the dress. And so yeah, the top of the back or whatever. So yeah, that was the top because I had to rip off. This is the hole here. I had to rip off there. So in any event, this piece shrunk a lot less because I was fooling it a lot less and a lot gentler. And the back side, overall, it's not very strongly felted. Like, for example, comparing to this, even though I think that I used a similar layout, or maybe not. I used, okay, in this one I used 2 layers of wool, thin layers, but 2. And then this one I just used 1 layer of wool and 1 layer of this silk fiber. So you could see it is not as tightly felted. And the results are still, there's like way more hair than I want. Overall, the texture, had it not been for this hair, I probably would be happier with that, but I am not. Another learning experience. I'll probably finish wooling it and felting it, and we'll see what I will use it for. But there are some pretty sides to that, and kind of to be continued. The saga still goes on. And then I did this piece, and here I used also 1 layer of wool, superfine merino wool, 16 microns, and then I used viscose, and it's pretty terrain, but also lightly felted. And the idea is, if I were to make some kind of light spring jacket, that was I was testing, and you could see how little it has shrunk because I left this portion specifically to see how it will gather if it shrunk. So I also was extra gentle with fooling, thinking that that might be a problem. But overall, if I had not been using light wool, overall there's a lot less wool penetrating on this side. It just not felted well enough. If I stretch it, I don't know if I started to wear that, and these things might kind of unravel. And so between this and this, these are kind of where I'm going. This is a lot, I would have a lot more confidence wearing a piece like that, but I do like this texture. So this is my experiments so far, and I haven't arrived yet. I am going to continue changing different factors and see where it leads me. And since I have the same kind of dress, you know, like I don't know, they must have been in fashion at some point. So I was able to get them at good price at the secondhand store. And this is the sleeve. That was the purple sleeve like that. So it's, you could see how the it shrunk. And I'm going to cut 2 of these sleeves. I'm saving the skirts at least for when I figure out how it works. But the sleeves in the top I will use for more tests, to run more tests. So please stay tuned, and hopefully I will be able soon to share the solution that I deem to be the winning for what I'm trying to do. And I appreciate your suggestions. If you know the answer, please drop them in your comments, and please watch my previous experiments. Maybe you too will find something useful. Thanks again for watching, and until the next video where I'll report the results.